Here's a grave resting on the grass, and we're going to dig a hole in front of it. To make the shape of the hole, you can use any of the selection tools. The Quick Mask tool works pretty well. Here we're going to use the lasso to trace a shape in rough perspective in front of this grave. We'll make a new layer and fill this with any colour and deselect. Now we'll lock the transparency on this layer and we'll use the clouds filter using different shades of brown as the foreground and background colours to add some basic texture. Now let's make this texture more convincing. We'll use the noise filter to add a bit of noise to it. That's too harsh, so let's add some Gaussian blur to soften that slightly. And there's our basic earth. So far this looks like a mound of earth sitting on top of the grave rather than a hole. We need to dig down into it. So let's use the burn tool with a fairly large brush to darken up the bottom of the hole. Remember that the hole gets darker the deeper it goes. Now switch to a smaller brush for the same tool and put in some vertical streaks down the sides of the hole. These will help to guide the eye downwards and to give the impression of it having vertical depth. The last task with this tool is to go around the edge of the grave just beneath the grass to create a more convincing overhang. Well, the hole is okay, but that grass is far from convincing with that clean, hard edge. Let's roughen that up, and here's the way to do it. Hold the Command or Control key and click on the thumbnail for the hole layer, and this loads up the area taken up by this layer. We'll make a new layer mask using Reveal Selection, and that creates this mask around the outside of the hole. When we now use the Smudge tool, set to a small spatter brush, we can tweak in clumps of grass all the way around the edge. Don't make this too regular or it'll look artificial again. It looks as if we're moving the grass, but in fact what we're doing is extending the mask that goes around the edge of this hole so it pushes the grass texture inside it. At the front here, the grass can go straight up as we're looking at the edge. And there's the hole complete with its grass overhang. This is looking much better. Let's bring in some sky, and we'll make this a nighttime view. Go down to the sky layer and make a new adjustment layer using curves. This will darken up both the sky and the grass layer beneath it. That's not bad as far as it goes, but the grass looks artificial next to the sky. We need to darken it up where it reaches the sky. We'll go to the background layer and use the burn tool again. By darkening up the back, we blend the grass more seamlessly into the sky. Finally, let's add some mist to this picture to make it look more spooky. Go to the top layer and make a new layer called Mist. Set the foreground color to white and choose a medium-sized, soft-edged brush. If you're using a graphics tablet, don't press too hard. If you're using a mouse, use a low opacity. And now paint in some horizontal bands of mist hovering around the hole. And there we go.